The hollow crown. The pursuit of status breeds discontent, and the desire for more invites greed. When we stop flaunting what's desirable, we leave the heart untroubled. The sage leads by quieting the mind, reducing desires, and strengthening what truly matters. Through selfless action, everything falls into place, perfectly balanced.
The hollow crown. Once, in a bustling city where towers scraped the sky and ambition hummed through every street, there lived a young man named Kai. Kai, like many others in the city, chased the shimmering promises of success, wealth, fame, and status. He believed that once he reached the top, happiness would greet him like an old friend. And so, he climbed. His every move calculated, his every decision aimed at rising higher. He worked tirelessly, collecting accolades like trophies, possessions like armor. Yet, the more he gained, the emptier he felt. The more wealth he amassed, the more anxious he became that it could slip away. Every new status symbol only sharpened his hunger for more. One day, while pacing the city streets, troubled by thoughts of a deal gone wrong, Kai met an old sage sitting peacefully by a fountain, watching the ripples in the water. Kai, frustrated and burdened, stopped before the sage and demanded, "What is the secret to lasting success? How can I achieve more without this constant fear of losing what I'd gained?" The sage looked up, smiling softly. "Why do you seek more when what you have already weighs so heavily on your soul?" Kai, confused, retorted, "I thought contentment came from reaching the top. But the higher I climb, the more I fear the fall." The sage gestured to the fountain, where the water flowed effortlessly from the top to the base, swirling gently in the pool below. "Look at this fountain. The water does not cling to the top, nor does it resist the fall. It moves with ease, knowing it will return to its source." Kai frowned. "But if I let go of my ambition, won't I fall behind?" The sage chuckled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "It's not ambition that troubles you, it's the attachment to what you think it will bring. You've filled your life with crowns that weigh you down, thinking them treasures, when they're merely hollow." Kai stared at the fountain, watching the water dance freely, without care for where it had been or where it would go. He realized that the crowns he sought were not symbols of success but burdens that only fed his discontent. The sage rose and placed a hand on Kai's shoulder. "When you stop chasing after more, life will provide what you need. Act without seeking reward, and the world will align with your purpose." Kai walked away that day, lighter than he had felt in years. He no longer sought to own the world but to move within it, like water, without force or fear. And in that surrender, he found the contentment that had always eluded him, contentment not in having, but in being.
2 Universal Life Lessons. This poem story offers 2 powerful lessons that apply universally, regardless of time, culture, or circumstance. 1. The burden of attachment. We often think that happiness lies in achieving more, whether it's money, success, or recognition. But the more we accumulate, the more we fear losing it. This attachment to possessions or status becomes a source of anxiety, as Kai discovered in the story. True contentment doesn't come from having more, but from releasing the desire to own or control outcomes. Just like the water in the fountain, life flows more freely when we let go of our need to cling to what we think will bring us happiness. By detaching from the results and focusing on the present moment, we create space for peace and fulfillment. 2. The power of selfless action. The sage in the story reminds us that action taken without expectation of reward is the most powerful kind. In today's society, we are often taught to measure success by tangible outcomes, what we achieve, what we own. But Lao Tzu teaches that when we act selflessly, without attachment to results, everything settles perfectly into place. In modern life, this means approaching work, relationships, and personal endeavors with a mindset of giving rather than taking. When we focus on contributing to the world, instead of what the world can give us, we find that success comes naturally, without the weight of constant striving. Application to life today. Letting go of status and possessions. In a world that constantly encourages us to get ahead, it's easy to believe that happiness comes from accumulating more, whether it's possessions, status, or power. But as the Tao Te Ching teaches, this desire only leads to dissatisfaction. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what we want, we can practice gratitude for what we already have. By shifting our perspective from wanting to appreciating, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of fulfillment. Practicing effortless action. In today's culture of hustle, we often equate busyness with productivity. But Lao Tzu's wisdom invites us to practice not doing, acting without force, without attachment to outcomes. This doesn't mean being inactive, but trusting that life will unfold as it should. Whether in work or personal goals, when we act from a place of service and presence, rather than seeking rewards, we align with the natural flow of life, and success follows. In memory of Dr. Wayne Dyer. As a follower of the teachings of Dr. Wayne Dyer, I offer this reflection in his memory. Dr. Dyer often spoke about the beauty of living without attachment, of focusing on service and contentment rather than endless striving. His wisdom continues to inspire, reminding us to trust in the flow of life and to act from a place of love, not ego. Let us honor his memory by embracing these simple but profound truths, by letting go of the need for more and finding peace in the present. In gratitude and in memory of Dr. Wayne Dyer.